Yeah, but we're not going to do the parts of the installation and things, are we? Do you have the list of the officers? Do you have the list of the officers? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Ho-Onko service, and we will be having our New Year luncheon and a general meeting today. So lots of things going on today. I'm Jeannie Toshima, and if you will please, oh no, we're not going to rise. I'd like to, okay, so I want to know, how many of you know why we're having this service today? What is Ho-Onko? Don't raise your hands all at once. No, you're not going to say? Well, let me tell you why we're here. We're here to commemorate the death of Shinran Shonin, who was born in 1773, a long time ago. And he passed away in 1262 at the age of 89. And for that era, that's very, very old. And he's credited as the founder of Shin Buddhism. He studied and was greatly influenced by Honen Shonen, and he continued to preach to and spread the Nembutsu teaching to all the people who lived near him. Fishermen, farmers, men and women, just normal people. marriage, which was not the norm, and he married Lady Ashini, and he continued to preach and write until his death. He wrote the Shoshinge, which we chant. So thank you again for attending today's special service. If you'll please rise for a real short opening message. The Nembutsu for its practicers is not a practice or a good act. Since it is not performed out of one's own design, it is not a practice. Since it's not good done through your own calculation, it is not a good act, because it arises wholly from other power and is free of self-power. For the practitioner, it is not practice or a good act. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. And please have a seat. So at this time, we're going to have the pronouncement of service by Reverend Gibbs. There are some service books around you also. We will all be chanting Sambutsuge starting on page 8.
Yeah, thank you, Jeannie. And in pronouncing the service, I will chant the Shishinrai in showing our reliance on the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and then we will move into the Sambutsuge. Today, on this occasion of the year 2024 Ho-Onko service, the members of the Pasadena Buddhist Temple, our friends and our guests reverently repeat our reliance upon the three treasures of the truth. We rely upon the Buddha, we rely upon the Dharma, we rely upon the Sangha. Shishin kei ilei namo shochiu hu. Shishin kei ilei namo shochiu ho. Shishin kei ilei namo shochiu so. Busatsu Daimuryo Jukyo Sanbutsuge Kogen Gigi Ijin Mugoku Nyode Enmyo Muyo Tosha Nichigatmani Shuko Enyo Kaish Nonpe Yunyaku Jumoku Nyorai Yogen Chote Murin Shonaku Dayon Koru Jipo Laimon Shojin Amai Chie Itoku Muryo Shushokeu Jintai Lennen Shobuten Hokai Ujin Jinno Kungongai Tai Umyo Yokunu Seison Yomu Ninno Shi Jintoku Muryo Kukun Kodai Chie Jinmyo Komyo Iso Shindon Daisen Ganga Sabuten Taisho Ho Kado Syo 쨋 부대 조이 가인닌 쇼진 녀세 삼마이 지혜 이조 도세 독급은 부교 시간 이사이 크크 이따 다이언 계시어붓은 약끝은 녹음한 무려 다이쇼 준용오랴 그여 이사이 시토 쇼붓은 분용우도 천쇼 흥약그 인용오랴 쇼붓은 세카이 무수가게 무슈탁도 고묘시쇼 현시쇼 kokkunyo대쇼진 이진난려 려가 다붙은 kokku도 다이치 고슈킴묘 노조 초dat은 kokkunyo 나연 니무토소 가토 아이민 노dat은 이사이 지뽀라이쇼 신났은 쇼조 이토가 코크 케라크 안논 코붙은 신묘 내가 신쇼 오스간 노히 리키쇼 쇼요크 지뽀 세손 지혜 무게 조려 시손 지가 신교 계려 신시 쇼크 도크추 가교 쇼딘 ninjuke namandabu 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 Ganiya shikudoku yodo sei isai non monai shin onyo Namo-mira-butsu, 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 Namo-mira-butsu.
Thank you, and I see you all found page 33. Next, we'll have Ho-Onko by our representatives, starting with Dharma School. It's going to get heavier and heavier. Sangha teens. Junior YBA. Pasadena Buddhist Women's Association. Pasadena Buddhist Temple. Thank you. Hey, that's 100% for the start of 2024. This is pretty good. Good start, good start. Next, if you'll rise and turn your books open to page 154, we're going to sing a song together called Shinran Sama. I asked him to play loud because I don't think a lot of us know the words to this song. Please remain standing and turn to, where are we going? The front? Okay, to your program book.
Yeah, we'll have you read along with me, if you will, from the back of our program. It's a multi-translated piece. I translated one word. Rosenthal Sensei translated some of it, and some of it I don't know who translated it, but this is the tradition of our founder Shinran, who we're remembering today. Read with me, if you will, a gathering to repay a kindness. Shinran Shonin's memorial service. Ho-Onko, meaning a gathering to express our indebtedness and thankfulness, is a memorial service in honor of Shinran Shonin. It is also an occasion to express our gratitude to Amida Buddha for having awakened us to life's supreme meaning. Ho-Onko is the most important Jōdo-Shinshu ceremony. At Honzon, our head temple in Kyoto, Japan, Ho-Onko is a week-long observance from the 9th through the 16th of January. According to the Western calendar, Shinran Shonin was born on May 21st of 1173 and died on January 16th of 1263. Ho-Onko is one of the principal religious festivals in which one participates in hearing the light of Amida's compassionate embrace. Hearing the light of Amida's compassionate embrace through listening to Dharma messages, holding ritual ceremonies, and participating in Sangha fellowship. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And we are going to now ask everyone to sit except the children who are in Dharma School. Dharma School is going to repair to the annex where they will have their own program while I'm talking, which allows me to speak at great length to you.
Yes, Sunday school kids, you guys can leave. That includes you, Mikala. Okay, and Asen. And any kids with their families. And if you have a ballot, Lori, they handed out the ballot already? If you have a ballot, just Shelly's going to collect it from you because while Sensei's talking, we're going to tally the ballots. So if you have a ballot, Shelly's the one with the white coat. We are trapping you this year for this the annual party lunch meeting. We're not letting you go home. Okay, so Sensei, I think Shelly's almost done, and if you please. Yep.
We will take just another minute or two to allow our friends for Dharma School to go off to their own program. So again, good morning. And if I haven't seen you in the last couple weeks, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It's still a fresh new year. There's a lot of potential here. This is our Ho-Onko service, as Jeannie told you. The memorial service for our denominational founder, Shinran Shonin. I must thank everyone helping me to present this service. Alan Goto is doing the videography and tech support. Howard Hayes playing organ. Jeannie Toshima, of course, chairing. And Kyoko Gibbs did our flowers. She decorated the Naijin, Shogun, and also prepared the Hondo in the Naijin area. And these cloths are called Utsushiki and Mizuhiki. The big ones, Mizuhiki, the short ones, Utsushiki. But Shogun, what is called to put all these cloths up is called Shogun. And it just means to decorate. So we're quite aware this is a decoration, a kind of a presentation to help your imagination picture what awakening into a better life might be. So thanks to all the staff who has helped me to present this Dharma message, and to do this service, I'm going to start off by reading a portion of a rather long letter from the collected works of Shinran. It's not by Shinran. This letter is written by his student, Reni, and his student is writing to his fellow student, Kyoshinbo, to inform him that his father passed away. They're walking from a little bit south of Tokyo to Kyoto, which is a long way, and this man was sick. And he wanted, and everyone's telling him, let's take you back, you wait, you don't have to go this time. He said, no, I'm going to go. So I'll read this letter. Shinran was quite touched by the death of Kakushinbo, passed away, and this letter is written to his son Kyoshinbo by their fellow student Reni. And when Reni wrote this letter, there's a significant content about what our teaching is, and so he showed it to Shinran, and Shinran approved of the letter. There are about half a dozen letters in Shinran's letters aren't his letters. They're letters he approved of, he authorized. So I will read now this letter from Reni, from the Matosho collection of Shinran's letters. I have copied what the Shonin has written in detail. Also, concerning your question about pronouncing Muge ko Nyorai, along with Namo Amida Butsu, the Shonin made a detailed comment in the margin of your letter, so I'm returning it to you. Although the words are different, whether we say Amida or Muge ko, the meaning is one. Muge ko is unobstructed light. And Muge, immeasurable life, and Muge ko, unhindered light. These are the Chinese translations of the Sanskrit. The Sanskrit and the Chinese words differ, but their meaning is the same. Now then, concerning Kakushinbo, I was deeply saddened by his death, but also felt great esteem for him, for he never deviated from Shinjin. We'll consider this faith or trust right now. He never deviated from trust in the vow of the Buddha. I asked him many times how his realization of Shinjin was. Each time he answered that he had not digressed. He had not digressed from Shinjin, and his realization became stronger and stronger. On his way to Kyoto, after he left his own province, he became ill at a place called Hitoichi. And although his companions advised him to return, he replied, if it's a fatal illness, I'll die whether I return or not. If I am to be sick, I'll be sick, whether I return or to stay. If it's the same, I wish to die at the side of Shinran Shonin. His Shinjin was truly splendid, so splendid and enviable that it reminds me of Shandao's parable of the two rivers. At the point of death, he uttered Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Muge ko Nyorai, Namo Fukashigi ko Nyorai, Tathagata of light that surpasses understanding. And putting his hands together in Gasho, he quietly met his end. Whether one is left behind or goes before, it is surely sorrowful to be parted by death. But the one who goes first attains the nirvana and vows without fail to save those who were close to him first, and to lead those with whom he has been karmically bound, his relatives and his friends. It should be so. And since I have entered the same path of the teaching as Kakushin, I feel strongly reassured. Since it is said that being a parent and a child is a bond from a previous life, you too must feel reassured. It is impossible to express how moving and impressive it all was, so I will stop here. How can I speak of it further? I hope to say much more later. I read this letter to the Shonin, to Shinran Shonin, in order to see if there were any errors. He told me that there was nothing to be added and that it was fine. He was especially moved and wept when it came to the part about Kakushin, for he was deeply grieved by his death. So this was one letter showing us Shinran's students coming to see him and talk to him, and one of them passed away on the way. And I wanted to read this letter today at Ho-Onko. Now, we've been celebrating Ho-Onko for 763 years. Not here. Here it's 66 years. We believe this is our 66th Ho-Onko service at Pasadena Buddhist Temple. Actually, a few more, because when we had a little technical houses, so at least 66 years we've been doing it. But worldwide, 763 years we've been holding this service. Remember me 763 years after I'm gone. I'm not counting on it. But we remember Shinran, and there's about 20 million, it's hard to number, but about 20 million of us worldwide. This is a yearly memorial service for Shinran Shonin, Ho-Onko. And the service is held near to the exact day of his passing, which was January 16th. So we're a couple days early, but as our little reading told us, in Japan they celebrate all week long. I do believe that until a couple centuries ago they celebrated for 2 weeks. But it's all week long in Japan, and it comes up to the 16th. So there's a service in Honzan right now. Not sure what time it is over there, right? It's about 2 in the morning, so maybe there's not a service at Honzan right now. But there was today, and there will be tomorrow and the day after. Now, there are more than a dozen intriguing key episodes in the life history of Shinran. And this morning I started with reading a letter concerning one event in his life. That event was the death of Shinran's student Kakushinbo. And it was reported to that man's son, Kyoshinbo, in a letter by Rennie's hand, but again shown to Shinran for his approval. And Shinran did approve of the doctrinal and dharmic content of the letter, and it is reported to have deeply moved him, the narrative of the passing of his friend and student. I'll discuss the philosophical implications and the religious meaning of the letter briefly shortly. This morning I'd also like to mention Shinran's last words, and the last words of Shinran Shonin were when his daughter asked him, what should we do? Now that's the exact sentence she said, what should we do? We assume what she meant to ask him is like, should we hold after the funeral, should we hold a 49th day service? This is a whole other matter that we might discuss someday. But our denomination did not hold 49th day services until the 19th century. So for 700 years, we didn't do them. We were ordered to do it by the government. Now we do it, gave it our own interpretation. But, we didn't have a denomination yet. Shinran's passing away. Do we do 49th day services? Should we do a service for you? That's probably what Kakushinni meant. What should we do? His answer to the question, what should we do, was when I Amo River so that it will be food for the fish. He was known to like fish, and he figured it was their turn now, Now, of course, his daughter Kakushini did not do that. People never do things like that when you ask them to. Rather, the first Ho-Onko service was presided over by his brother, her uncle, and that was on the 16th of January, 1261. Kakushini wrote her mother a letter that has been lost, describing Shinran's last days, but we have Eshini's letter back to her daughter. And following the death of Shinran and her first daughter, Eshini was in the northwest part of Japan because the family had property there in Niigata, and her first daughter, her oldest daughter, and the wife of her second son both passed away young. And so she was called back there to care for the children and run the farm. So when Shinran passed, she was not with him, and she wrote back to Eshini and replied to, she wrote back to Kakushini, her daughter, and replied that there's no doubt that your father has entered into the Buddha's pure realm and attained enlightenment. And she reminded her daughter that Shinran insisted that it does not matter what your condition is in your last moments, Shinran's heart and mind had opened many times to the promise of Amida Buddha, to the fundamental promise to liberate all suffering and deluded beings. We have our ways of understanding this goodness. This goodness emerges from life. Other religions encounter it in different ways, but Shinran encountered it pretty much every time he said Namo Amida Butsu. He had encountered the fundamental promise of the Buddha many times. And for anyone who has responded acceptingly to the Buddha's vow, even for a second, even for an instant, death is an awakening that leads to great fulfillment, to thoroughgoing enlightenment. Now, we might wonder why Eshini is reminding her daughter of this, but we don't have her daughter's letter. And maybe Shinran had a fever when he passed away. Maybe that troubled Kakushini. We don't know. You don't know how you're going to pass away. I've had members of the temple, we're not going to mention names here, but some of you know, one of the members of our temple, I was holding her hand as she passed away. I didn't know if she was gone. I've had this on several occasions with other people, where you have to call the nurse in and say, I think she's gone. She just was there and then she wasn't. Some people can do that, just walk into the light. I've had people thrashing around on the bed because they can't breathe well. That doesn't mean that something bad's going to happen after they die. No connection. This is our teaching. Once you open your heart to the possibility of awakening, the possibility of sharing light with all people, goodness with all people, all living things, once that aspiration comes into your heart, it doesn't matter what you're like on your deathbed. It doesn't matter. The next moment will be wonderful. What matters for Buddhahood is an instant in time when your heart, mind, and body essentially says, yes, I accept. Yes, I want to be a Buddha. Really, yes. Yes to the promise of freedom and happiness for all. The promise of Amida Buddha's vow, the intent of enlightenment, the intent of enlightened living, is the awoken well-being of all. What we are focused on is the awoken well-being of all living things, including ourselves. We don't have to deserve it. We don't have to firmly and doggedly believe in it day in and day out. The truth of life is gentle. The truth of life is gentle, forgiving, and caring. We are included. We are all included in the Buddha's promise of freedom and fulfillment. Freedom, fulfillment, and togetherness. I often discuss this dynamic of Shinjin. Even if a brief instant of trust opens in our hearts and minds, a new phase in our life has begun, a phase where there is always trust, confidence, and hope in the background of our lives. There's always a deep confidence in the background of our lives. This morning, I also want to look at that letter which I had read at the beginning, Reni's letter, which was approved of by Shinran, and it tells us that these various forms of the Buddha's name are all valid. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. That's just a different pronunciation of the same thing. Namu or Namo Amida Butsu means I respect and rely upon Amida Buddha. Amida Buddha is the Buddha of limitless wisdom, light, and endless life, limitless light and endless life, the Buddha who has promised to lead everyone else to awakening. But that's all Namo Amida Butsu means. It's the same thing as Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. But the verbal meaning of the other phrase is a little different. Namo Fukashiki Ko Nyorai, which if you go to our Honzan is to the left of the image of Shinran. Namo Fukashiki Ko Nyorai means I respect and rely upon the one who emerges from reality such as it truly is, whose wisdom light is beyond understanding. Namo Fukashiki Konurai, same intent as Namo Amida Butsu. Kimyo Jinjipo Muge Konurai, which means I respect and rely upon the one who emerges from reality such as it truly is, whose wisdom light is unobstructed and moves through all realms. Kimyo Jinjipo Muge Konurai. It's kind of long. There's even a letter where one of Shinran's students say, shouldn't we just say Namo Amida Butsu? Should we be going out there saying Kimyo, Jinjipo, Mugeko, Nirai? Isn't it kind of pretentious? And Shinran says, oh no, Ashibandhu Bodhisattva wrote that form of the Nembutsu to remind us just who and what Amida Buddha is. Kimyo, Jinjipo, Mugeko, Nirai. We rely upon reality emerging such as it truly is, whose wisdom light penetrates in every direction without being obstructed. We also, as I mentioned in the letter, Namo Muge Konurai. That's the only time I've seen that form of Nembutsu is in that letter. It's simply an abbreviation of Kimyo Jinjipo Muge Konurai, which is written to the right of Shinran's statue at our headquarters in Japan. Namo Muge Konurai just means I rely and respect on the one who emerges from reality such as it truly is, whose wisdom light is unobstructable, cannot be stopped by our own ignorance or wrongdoing. Now, Reni tells us the meaning of all this is the same. We might say more that the thrust of them all is the same. The thrust of this, each has a unique verbal meaning, but they all mean it's going to be okay. They all mean they're all ways of relying upon the promise of awakening, which is emerging out of Amita's vow. Emerging, opening out to soothe and receive us, include us, and transform us. Encountering this teaching, looking into it, will lead to being intrigued by it. That being intrigued or deeply interested in the Nembutsu Dharma is trusting confidence, is Shinjin. This trusting confidence in the promise of awakening is said to be the cause of our enlightenment. Even a split second of sincere openness establishes a certainty of enlightenment in the future at the exact moment of death, if not before. The Buddha is reality awoken to itself. The Buddha is reality awoken to itself in us. Reality itself is good. Reality itself is good, caring, and accepting. It develops in those positive ways when we allow it to. That brief moment of hearing the teaching and or saying the Buddha's name in forms like Namo Amida Butsu, or I rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life, or Namo Mega Konrai. That brief moment establishes the future, a future in which you and I will be Buddhas. So this is Shinjin, or trusting confidence in the promise of enlightenment. And it will lead to enlightenment. At the moment of passing away, a new life of light and joy starts to unfold for us. And even now, there's that deep kind of confidence. It doesn't mean you're happy all the time. Sometimes it just means that, I've been through about 3 or 4 bad periods in my life, and I went through a really bad period after I followed the Nembutsu teaching, and what I realized was, I'm depressed, I'm unhappy, but I'm sure not suicidal, and I'm difference, knowing it's going to get better. We still might have a really bad day, even a bad week, but there's a deep confidence that settles into our hearts and minds that it will be all right. In the long run, it's going to be all right. All will be well, and all will be well, and every manner of thing will be well. This is the truth that settles into our hearts and minds on this path. This is what Shinran Shonin tried to tell us in his 82-year-long career as a Buddhist teacher. It's a long time to do something. He spent 82 years studying and teaching the Buddha Dharma. Everyone who attends this temple has been exposed to Shinjin. It's like being exposed to chickenpox. You get chickenpox, unless you take some medicine, you're going to have shingles later, right? I've had it twice. But this is a good thing. Once you have that moment of trusting, you're going to be a Buddha next. That's going to be the next life. Can't be helped. It's inside you now. It's developing. Goodness is going to come out. Everyone who attends this temple has been exposed to Shinjin, to this promise of trust and goodness now, enlightenment, brilliance for all later. This promise is a powerful kind of wellness. Once expressed, it grows inside of you, becoming stronger and making you stronger. It is like that. We engage today in the service commemorating the 763rd year since the passing of our denominational founder, Shinran Shonin. He again spent 82 years studying and teaching the Buddha Dharma, teaching us not to worry, teaching us to trust in a surrounding goodness, a goodness, the compassion of the Buddha, which will be there for us when we need it. Sometimes we say the Buddha's name aloud to revel in the conviction that this is true. And on that note, and in closing this Dharma message for our Ho-Onko service in 2024, allow me to ask you to join me, if you will, briefly in saying the Buddha's name a few times. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much.
Okay, if someone finds my notes someplace out there, I left my notes somewhere. But it looks like we're supposed to have the installation of the temple officers. So,
We're gonna do this real simple, guys. Just
Yeah, come on.
If you think you're a temple officer, come forward. You probably are.
Jerry Ito, Alan Goto, Lori Hatakeyama, Johnny Kamone, Kathy Mikuni, me, Shelly Shinmoto, you tallied? Okay. Donna Mitoma and Robert Ozawa. Robert was the one that delivered the meal, so he had to get going again. But Robert was here. So if I can have you all stand here and face forward. You want to give it? Okay. Shelley was our vote tallier, so before we install, let's make sure we're official.
Surprise. Yeah, so everyone who was, as Jeannie said, you know, when you are on the board, it's a two-year service period. So there were 5 spots open, and the people on the ballot were Alan Goto, Lori Hatakeyama, who is our co-president, Johnny Kamon, Kathy Mikuni, and Jeannie Toshima, who is also our co-president. So it was almost unanimous. Everybody approved. There was one write-in candidate and one denial, who I think Alan denied himself, but too bad, Alan. So this is the board of directors for the next term, 24-25. And Lori and Jeannie continue as co-presidents. I'm the secretary. Todu's the treasurer. He's not here, right? Todu here?
Somebody will be back in just a minute, or be staying, because we can do the BWA separately.
We're going to, yeah. BWA is busy in the other room, so they're going to do the installation after you get your obento.
Okay. So yeah, we're going to do this very simple, and being simple doesn't necessarily mean that we're not being devout or serious. So excuse me for not being too formal about this. This is our installation of the officers of the Pasadena Buddhist Temple for the year 2024. In taking office with the Pasadena Buddhist Temple, you have resolved to give up some of your free time and devote that time to this temple, to the propagation of the Buddha Dharma. Thank you very much. In confirming your acceptance of this office, please repeat the Nembutsu after me and then offer incense following. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. You are hereby installed as officers of the Pasadena Buddhist Temple. Please offer incense before you return to your seat.
Can I just take a picture?
Oh, okay, sure. Sorry.
Somebody.
Somebody has a phone. They have cameras in it, I understand.
Oh, I can take the picture.
Thank you. Somebody at the next one? No. We're song to sing.
Do we have to? Can we not sing it? Oh, okay. Okay, I'll pay you later. Sorry. Okay, we made an official, we're not going to sing again. So sorry. But, so I know some of you wanted to sing again, but this is a long service already for us. So if you'll please rise, I have a real short closing message. Hard is the rock, soft the water, yet water wears away the rock. There is an old saying that if there is a will, even the attainment of Buddhahood is possible. No matter how little faith one possesses, if he listens earnestly to the teachings, he will attain faith through the compassion of the Buddha. Therefore, it is important that one listen earnestly to the teachings. Renyo Shonin. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Please have a seat. And we have some real quick announcements. If you ordered an obento, they've already arrived. And so as you walk out the door, Linda Ito will give you a ticket, and then you use that ticket to pick up your bento. Some of you have opted to take it home, so when you get your bento, you're welcome to take it home. But if you'd really like to stay and join us, we have miso soup and the company of a lot of nice people that you can sit with. But that's what's happening then. But right now, Kathy, come on up. Kathy Kumagai, come here. Oh, I can't. I've lost my folder. I found my phone. Kathy Kumagai has been our president and a board member for many, many years. And we have a certificate to give her, but I can't find it because I can't find my folder. So, Kathy, it's your virtual certificate and a gift. Thank you so much for all your years of service. No, this is not letting you off the hook. This does not mean you're done. It's just that at Pasadena, we don't have too many people. No, mine's better. No.
I noticed, but Greg, do you have your phone?
No, we'll get a real picture when we'll get a real picture. Okay. But no, so we don't have too many people leave our board. And so since COVID, this is really our first annual meeting, so we haven't had a chance to thank those that had been on the board for many, many years, and we're not able to award them the way we would like to, which is the certificate and a plaque and maybe even a little something that's nice. Okay. So Kathy, thank you very much for all your service. We know you are still going to be around. If you have things to donate for the silent auction, she is in charge of the silent auction for the spring. So please talk to her. She's the figurehead. Okay. Next, Ellen Hatakeyama, please stand up. Yeah. No, come on. Come all the way up. You're lucky because I can't find your certificate either because it's in the same folder that hers is in. It's someplace. It's in a bento or someplace. Along with the agenda and everything else we were supposed to talk about. Did you find it? Okay, anyway. So Mr. Hatakeyama here has started out here helping his Mr. Sakahara make rice for us. That's what I remember Mr. Alan Hatakeyama from. And so he has, and when I was going through my minutes trying to figure out how long all these people served, my notes that I have from board meetings only go back to 2007. And Alan was already on the board. And Alan, you said you've been on the board since 2001. So it's a very, very long time. We're going to have to get him a car to thank him. But Alan left our board, but he is still our president of our SOGs. He is here every Tuesday and Thursday. He is one of our most dedicated volunteers here at the temple. And he also helps. He's one of our old timers. And I know we'd like, oh, you found my folder. Okay, thank you. So we'd like to give you a hand and a certificate and maybe a car. I'll give it to you later. Okay, so I think those are my announcements. Is there anything? Oh, we have to have the meeting. Thank you. So, come on. So you can't, okay, if there's anybody that has to leave, this is the time to leave. Susie, if you have to go, we'll take care of Hatsumi. Okay. But anyway, we usually have a meeting, but we have it in the lunch room, but a lot of people don't listen to us and they take off anyway. So this way you guys are stuck. And it'll be fast because I know you want your bentos. So the meeting is being called to order. Okay, I'd like to call to order the 2024 annual meeting, and Sensei, when you start the meeting with opening gasho, please.
Let's wish you please joining us, show. Namo Amidabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu, Namo Amidabutsu, Namo.
So in your packet today, you got last year's minutes, and so I'm sure you read it because we had so much time today. We need a motion to accept it, and then a second and then we vote on this. It's a real meeting. So is there a motion to accept the meeting from last year's January 15th general membership meeting? Thank you, Donna. The motion has been made. Jerry Ito is seconding it. Is there any discussion? Is there any objection? Hearing no objection, the motion passes. Thank you very much. We don't have a financial report. Toru has been taking very, very copious. He's been taking care of our money. We do have money. We are a little bit low on donations from last year, but you know, COVID, everybody gets used to it. So we'll keep sending out reminders to you about that. But financially, we'll try to get something into the next Hikari so you know how we started and how we ended. What's next? What's on the agenda? I don't have it. So we did the election, and so we certified that Alan. Who did we certify? I don't have the ballot. Who? Alan, Lori. Oh, you and me, Jeannie and Johnny. So thank you for voting us in, I guess. Sensei, do you have any comments?
Well, no, we really appreciate the great support you've all given the temple, both financially and in terms of your efforts. And we have done, I think by this pandemic, we were worried, and there was a relationship really come through for us. We got to adjust that, put back out into the hard part of it. But we really appreciate the support you've all given to the temple, and my family absolutely appreciate your support. And I think there's every reason to be optimistic about our future. We will kind of rolling back in gear. We'll have time sheet Tuesday, Thursday, study class, and meditation on Tuesday. If you're not busy, come see us on Tuesday. We're going to watch something on Netflix.
Okay, never mind. We have a TV in a dining room. I'll show it. But just as a recap for this year, we are very lucky that Kyoko has decided she's going to get very, very active. Oh. Can you? Okay, I'll click. We got our Dharma school going back together. So we have a Dharma school, but we are still looking for more high school and junior high school kids to come join our junior YBA and Sangha teams. It's not too late. So we did a lot of activities this year. So we did Valentine's Day. How do I move this? This is not working for me. But maybe we'll do this another time. Oh, there. Oh, where's the arrow? Oh, I see the arrow. Thank you. Yes. How come it's not working? I hate technology. It's not working. Do you see my arrow? I'm pushing on the arrow. Next. What? Did you A page down. I'm doing the arrows on the keyboard. Have any other suggestions? Just shout them out.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
Okay, I can go here. I'll close this. Never mind.
You'll be doing this part later.
But anyway, just to let you know, because Dharma School's back started, we were able to take a field trip to Tanaka Farms. And another thing that we've been able to keep going, because of Cairo, is our senior lunch deliveries. And so it's not like during COVID, when during COVID we were actually packing up stuff for their pantry. Now we're delivering things like bentos and things that the seniors can enjoy, because they are now getting out. So thank you for everybody's their support. Kyoko was able to donate $250? No. How much money did they give to the School on Wheels? It was a lot of money. $1,200 was collected by all of you to donate to the School on Wheels, which is a school in downtown LA on 7th Street, right next to where we used to get our udon. And it's really a school that they have great classrooms, and they house and they feed all the homeless kids, or the kids who live with parents. They're basically homeless, and they give them tutoring and a lot of good encouragement. So that was Kyoko's project last year, will probably continue this year. So thank you for supporting her and our projects like Dharma School. We sent money to Maui. BWA has been very active with that. Now with the fire up in Seattle, Betsuine's arson, we have to make sure that we start working this year on our security measures around the temple. So we hope that you'll support us with that. And so Sensei's still here, he's healthy, and so our temple seems to be doing very well. Thank you to all for your support. We did have an obon. Someone wants to do it 2 days, and I keep saying, no, we're doing fine with 1 day, but we do hope that you do come back and help us out. And Super Bowl, Chirashi is coming back for the first time in 3 years, and so we have order forms for that. And
Shirashi's good. We can't promise about the game.
yeah, our chirashi is always good. And I understand, someone tells me that we are going to have our teriyaki chicken coming back in May. So things are coming back slowly. The back row is starting to choke, but it's like, what? No. So our temple is coming back. And so if you have friends who are looking for some place to find spiritual guidance, just encourage them. If they want to just walk, we walk on Mondays, pickleball Sundays and Mondays, Tai Chi Tuesdays and Thursdays, and classes Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays here with Sensei. Right?
Just the Thursday's just the Tai Chi.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sundays.
Sundays by request, and Tuesdays. Twice on Tuesday, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m.
So you're stuck. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
No, we have
No.
to feel opportunity from.
Oh! See, you guys pay $100 and don't know what happens. You think our stuff's going there. Well, instead of your tubs, we had somebody put numbers on ping pong balls.